Meditation is a very interesting word. It can mean almost anything to anybody. A thought process is what the word is defined as in most dictionaries. And in a moment, I'll make a distinction between meditation and Vedic meditation. As regards meditation, sometimes people say to me, I meditate. I hear that you teach meditation. I'm a meditator. What kind of meditation do you do? I run. When I'm running, and I have my headphones in and I have my favorite groovy music, for me, that's meditation. I run. And I go, that's fantastic, but I think that the thing that I teach is a little different to that. Let me explain. So, activities that involve engaging the mind, or thought-inducing activities, contemplative activities, concentration activities, exercise-oriented activities, they might be, in a certain sense, correctly defined by the dictionary, meditative experiences, yes. I'll acknowledge that. Now let's talk about Vedic meditation. In Vedic meditation, we step beyond thought entirely. We sit in a chair easily, comfortably relaxed. We close our eyes. We have a very specific technique that we practice that is effortless. And within a few minutes of commencing the technique, the mind immediately settles down into its least excited state. That least excited state goes beyond thought, not sleep, a wakefulness inside, where one experiences that abundance of pure consciousness, that abundance of the source of all creativity and intelligence inside of us, the source of all the tens of thousands of thoughts that rise in the mind every day. To experience that field of consciousness within yourself, right away, you have the treasure house of creative intelligence at your disposal. Typically, the technique is practiced for about 20 minutes, twice each day, sometime in the morning before commencing the day, and another time late in the afternoon or early evening before the major part of the evening's activity is engaged in. When I have that sense of I can come up with anything, anytime that's needed, I have that feeling of complete abundance from inside myself, then when a demand is made on me, I can interact with that demand successfully. Successful interaction with a demand yields the experience of happiness. I get waves of happiness each time I interact with a demand successfully. On the other hand, if a demand is made on me and I feel stressed, if a demand is made on me and I don't feel as though I can adapt to the change that it's expecting of me, if a demand is made on me and I sense that I cannot adapt, I'm going to maladapt. I'm going to try to fight the demand and make it not a demand anymore, or I'm going to try to flee from it. Fight, flight, reactivity, the maladaptive stress reaction to demands, is a spontaneous result of not having access to that deep inner silence, that super restful state, that state which brings the body unprecedented restfulness that removes all the stress. And so then when we practice Vedic meditation on a regular basis, we're able to meet demands successfully. Now, as regards gratitude, gratitude to me is a bit of an interesting subject. And I've spoken about this quite at length elsewhere. Gratitude, I'm grateful. Of course, one's grateful. One's grateful for being able to enjoy all of the gifts that come with having a human physiology, having a human brain, having capability. I'm very grateful. But does my gratefulness really express itself properly if I allow this beautiful gift to become sullied by stress accumulation? If I take this beautiful nervous system of mine and on a daily basis accumulate stress and I don't do anything about it, then what kind of gratitude will I have? I'm likely to start moving into or descending into the kind of gratitude which is actually an expression of low self-worth. I'm so grateful, and parenthetically, because I don't deserve. Sometimes gratitude, when one is not living that fullest expression and one knows that, I'm not living the fullest expression of life. My gratitude is in fact a form of expressing my low self-worth. I don't feel I deserve, and yet I was given anyway. I was given something and I frittered away its potentials. I'm grateful, I'm grateful. And we think that by being deeply grateful, we can somehow overcome the fact that inadvertently, we've also been irresponsible with the machinery. So let's have proper gratitude by cleaning it all up, making the nervous system neat and clean and removing all of its impurities. Impurities means all of that that has accumulated based on past overloads of experience, which now are irrelevant, and having the legacy of those experiences constantly driving us into all kinds of over-humble experiences where we have not enough, and we have to have a very careful balance of pride and also humility. If we have humility without some pride, pride means a willingness to take responsibility for the gifts that you have. If we have humility without pride, what we end up with is low self-worth. We end up with humiliation as well as humility. If we have no humility and only have pride, it can make the jump into hubris, into arrogance, which is neither a grateful state, nor is it a state of any balanced behavior. We have to have a very careful combination of both, and in fact, that careful combination is built into us if, in a balanced way, if we have removal of stress. So to be properly grateful for a gift, we don't want the gift to be loaded with garbage. We have to demonstrate that we understand what this gift is, awaken its full potential and live it. It's there. Your brain has massive, infinite computing power. Why use 2% of it, which is the average most people use? Why not use the other 98%, which are clouded and shrouded by stress that's accumulated in the physiology? As regards manifesting, the big self is doing all the manifesting. The idea that, I'm just a little individual here on the earth and I have this kind of cosmic sugar daddy who's just waiting for me to say, I want a Ferrari, or I want $1 million. And, I'm going to tape a check for $1 million written to me on my mirror every morning when I'm combing my hair. And, that's going to bring the $1 million to me. This kind of thinking lacks merit. Big self, that is to say, that cosmic field of intelligence, which you can identify with deep, deep, deep in that state of meditation, individuality merges into that cosmic intelligence every time we meditate. And then coming forth into activity, when I've made myself into a worthy vehicle, a stress-free vehicle for progressive change, it's natural that nature's intelligence is going to give me everything I need to be that agent of progressive change. But the idea that, all you have to do is sit and think about the thing a lot of times, and then, if you're not feeling particularly regal, you just have to think to yourself, I'm a king, I'm a king, I'm a king, I'm a king. There's no way that without releasing our stress, nature's intelligence is going to consider us to be regal just because we've been thinking king thoughts all the time. We need to get rid of the stress, and then we don't have to think about, I'm this, I'm that, I deserve this, I deserve that. We awaken into that spontaneous maximum deserving power, and everything that's needed will be provided without our having to ask for it. Consider for a moment a little baby lying in a cot. If the baby could say, Mommy, I want a blanket, well, surely the mommy would bring a blanket. If the baby could say, I'd like some milk now, baby could have milk. But the thing is, baby doesn't even have to bother desiring. Before desiring the blanket's already there. Prior to the desire coming. Before desiring the milk, milk is already there. Prior to requesting it or looking as though you wanted it. And so then that cosmic intelligence senses what we're going to need in advance of us bothering to desire it, in advance of us bothering to think of manifesting it. And so then cosmic intelligence is that which brings to us all of its infinite resources if we can make ourselves, through release of stress and removal of all the impurities in the body, make ourselves a worthy vehicle for progressive change.